percent of Americans report speaking a language other than English, while 53% of Europeans and increasing numbers in other parts of the world can converse in second languages. Foreign language in the United States education system is sadly undervalued. It could offer many benefits to the education system if not prioritized below other areas of interest, such as football. If American education systems were to require a foreign language by the age of 5, there would be an increase in learning and improved diversity among students. I personally believe that this topic is important because of our language education here in America. It needs to be improved and be initiated at an age that fosters the critical periods of development. Currently, here in the United States, our language education is lacking, and extremely lagging on a worldwide scale. European students are learning a foreign language at a very young age, and almost all adults in Europe are fluent in 3 languages. I believe that if the United States were to make learning a second language mandatory, then the learning process at a much younger age could open the students' views and contribute to more knowledge on diversity and improve critical thinking skills. It is time that America accepts the lingual challenge. I am passionate about the need to include foreign language in our education system. I have done my own research on this topic and have read extensively on this subject. The 3 main points that will be discussed in my speech include cognition and the critical learning period for children, the benefits for students learning foreign language, and why students are not motivated to learn another language in our lagging education system. One reason why a second language should be taught during primary education is because of the critical period. Children have very early education window, an ear, if you will, that will maximize their ability to observe the foreign language. The window is what cognitive psychologists have called the critical period. This is the time period from birth to the age of 6 where children observing everything that they are learning. However, the biggest component of the critical period is language development. Research has shown that children who do not develop language during the 6 years of life will most likely never develop effective language communication skills. This is because of the critical period language is stored in a different area of the brain. It is less easy to utilize. Therefore, in order for children to effectively learn a second language, the language needs to be taught during the critical period of life. This was proven by an experiment conducted on language structure. The researchers found that children do not learn a second language before 1 year of age, but during the 2nd or 3rd year of age. The experiment also shows many advantages of learning a second language. For example, children pick up a language much quicker than most adults. During adulthood, the second language is not easy to memorize, and a person tends to be more confident in their skills when they are younger. This is why it is important for children to learn a second language in primary school as opposed to secondary school. Honestly, learning a second language in high school is nearly pointless because we are not targeting the same area of the brain, nor will language remain if the student does not practice. The education system used in Europe and Asia requires almost every student to learn a second language, sometimes a third, during primary school. Europe has had success with language development because the curriculum fosters the children's critical period, therefore allowing them to be fluent in the language and having little difficulty remembering the terms and sentence structures. One reason Europe is doing so well, not only does learning the second language in the critical period help the student become fluent in that language, but by learning a second language in primary school, it can also help the student educationally flourish. There has been much evidence to support by learning a second language early on. Children can become more academically advanced. One research article by the BBC titled "Learning a Second Language Slows Brain Aging" found that learning a second language had positive effects on the brain. Children who had learned a second language had an increase in their intelligence, focus, and fluency. Another study found that learning a second language improved children's reading ability over vocabulary. This is because it helps change function and ultimately optimizes learning structure of the brain. Thus, it is beneficial to introduce second language education in primary school because there has been significant research that states by learning another language early, the children develop more academically. The cognition period is very important for language development in both the native language and foreign, and for associated academic benefits. But one of the biggest struggles that the education system is having with foreign language is keeping the students motivated. One of the biggest difficulties with the American language educational system is keeping motivated for school. It is the students' disadvantage to have foreign language taught during secondary education. Learning a second language is one of the biggest challenges faced by many students. As previously stated, when a second language is learned after the critical period, it is in a different area of the brain, and it is more difficult to retain said than what is having to be used. This cause of lack of motivation, the students give up and feel like they will never truly learn the language. So why should they struggle? Along with this, when the class shows little motivation to learn, the teachers also begin to have less motivation to teach the language. This said, because language has so much to offer and can be quite fun and rewarding. Therefore, if the education system can improve foreign language by adding classes in primary school, more students will become more fluent and motivated to speak, enhancing opportunities for them in the future. In conclusion, the critical period is one of the most important times in the brain's development to learn foreign language. The American education system sadly continues with outdated techniques for motivating students, largely ignores importance of including foreign language in the curriculum, and disregards the numerous advantages of including foreign language in the system. Foreign language in the United States education system is sadly undervalued, but could be an important part of the state's education, with benefits for other subject areas, if included in the standard curriculum. The facts have been stated. There are a wide variety of advantages if the education system improves and starts foreign language classes in primary school. But if foreign language classes continue to be such a low priority in the American education system, America will continue to have an ecocentric image in the world and lag worldwide on foreign education.